Intermittent fasting has been around for a while now, and I'm sure you've heard about it. This video intends to put to rest all the doubts that you may have related to it. To begin with, fasting has been practiced in almost all the religions since ancient time, and all of us know that fasting offers us a host of health benefits, right from helping us to have a better sleep, a better digestive system, a better detoxification system, and many more. And there are many ways one can fast that include dry fasting, liquid fasting, intermittent fasting. So what do we exactly mean by intermittent fasting? At the outset, intermittent fasting is not a diet. A diet will tell you what needs to be eaten and how much. However, intermittent fasting talks about when should you eat food. So in the truest sense, intermittent fasting is a pattern of eating or a way of eating, and it's not a diet. I am dietitian Pradnya Padhe. Please like this video, share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel. Let us look at the various ways you can practice intermittent fasting. The first and the most common way of eating is the 16-8 pattern, where you can eat in an 8-hour eating window followed by 16 hours of the fasting phase. This is a pretty flexible way of eating, and there is no rigidity about the time that you can eat the food. So you can opt to eat say between 8 o'clock in the morning and 4 o'clock in the evening, or you can opt to eat from 12 in the noon till 8 in the night. So that way it is an easy to follow way of eating. The second way is the 5:2 pattern, wherein you eat regular food for 5 days of the week, followed by restricting your calorie intake to less than 600 calories any 2 non-consecutive days of the week. The third way of practicing intermittent fasting is the eat, stop, eat pattern. Here you fast for 24 hours any 2 days of the week and have a regular eating pattern any 5 days of the week. The fourth way is called the warrior diet. It's a little difficult diet and cannot be practiced by many. In this way of eating, you can eat only in a 4-hour window followed by 20 hours of fast. However, the health benefits that it claims to offer are huge. The last way of following or practicing an intermittent fasting way of eating is the alternate day intermittent fasting pattern. Here, you follow the intermittent way of eating one day of the week and alternate it with regular days of eating. It is a hybrid way of eating, a more sustainable way of eating. However, the health benefits are not as profound. What are the pros and cons of intermittent fasting? Let us have a look at the pros. Fasting triggers cellular repair by a process known as autophagy, where the healthy cells of our body degrade the dysfunctional components of the cell, which helps the body manage inflammation, delays the risk of degenerative diseases, and also prevents the onset of cancer, among the many benefits that intermittent fasting has to offer. Secondly, our insulin levels drop down significantly when we are in the fasted state. Hence, fasting is known to decrease insulin resistance, or rather increase insulin sensitivity. Thirdly, fasting trains the body to utilize fat as a source of fuel for energy. It also helps us control mindless eating or binging. What are the cons or what are the dangers of intermittent fasting? People, out of sheer anxiety that they will not get to eat for a long time, overeat in the eating window, which nullifies the effect of fasting. Secondly, there are no specific guidelines about what one should eat in the eating window, and hence people often end up eating junk food. Thirdly, if you don't have a balanced diet in the eating window, you are at a high risk of putting yourself for nutritional deficiencies, and hence a diet plan from a nutritionist or a dietitian is strongly recommended. So what is it that one should eat in the eating window? To begin with, your nutrient requirement still remain the same irrespective of the time that you eat, which means your caloric requirement also is the same. It is highly recommended you get a diet chart plan from a nutritionist or a dietitian, which will ensure that your diet is balanced and there are no risks of nutrient deficiencies that we just mentioned. Secondly, ensure that you have a good protein intake and you don't miss out consuming the essential fatty acids to reap the benefits of intermittent fasting. Thirdly, processed food, junk food or extra calories will have their repercussions. Fasting cannot undo the damage that these food bring along with them. Lastly, focus on your water intake and ensure you're well hydrated and stop focusing only on food all the time. Let us look at what is the right way to begin fasting. For this, the last meal of the eating window is the most important meal of the day. It has to be high on protein, high on fiber and high on the good fat content so that you are feeling full or satiated for a longer period of time. Remember to include fruits or salads to include fiber, or you can add nuts and seeds to include good fats to the diet, and you can also look at adding eggs or something like sprouts to the last meal so that you are able to sail through the fasting period with ease. What can you have in the fasting state? So liquids such as plain water, green tea, black coffee, lemon water, coconut water can be safely consumed as they do not break the body's state of fasting. What should you eat when you are breaking the fast? It is important to remember that the digestive system was not functional for a very long period of time, and it is unfair to have a heavy meal as the first meal. So remember to start your meal with some liquids such as vegetable soups or chicken broth or maybe some buttermilk, and then you proceed to have a meal. The meal is preferred to be a well cooked or a soft meal, so you can have things like boiled egg or well cooked lentils to the meal. Probiotic is also highly recommended as that will help you have a better gut health. You need to ensure that this meal is not high on carbs or fat, as that would again trigger an insulin release and fat storage. Avoid consuming processed or packaged food as the first meal while you're breaking the fast. The last and the most common question is, when should I do my workout if I intend to follow intermittent fasting? The first and the obvious choice is to schedule your workout in the eating window so that you can continue to have your pre-workout and post-workout food. If not, the second option is having a workout a couple of hours after the last meal. That way you have the energy to do a workout, and if you're going to hit bed after that, you are going to manage your hunger pangs better. If you are a morning person, you can begin the workout with a black coffee so that it gives you the boost that you would require at that hour of the day. However, the best and the most ideal time to do a workout is the last part of the fasting stage, of the fasting phase, where your body is already started utilizing fat as a fuel for your energy requirements, and a workout will further increase the utilization of fat, and you can reap the benefits of better fat loss that way. The only flip side to this is that there are chances that you might be exhausted or tired by then. So you need to select what works well for you and take a decision. In a nutshell, intermittent fasting is a way of eating, is a pattern of eating, and is not a diet, and if done the right way can help you achieve your goals.